It is already completed. It is already completed, and we have to go on the second part of that chapter. Na?
Yes, yes, sir. The
Second
Shehnai
part.
of the one.
Yes, yes. So we will complete that one. Sound of music. And now we are going to complete uh, one minute. So listen here. And the second part of this sound of music is the Sahnai of Bismillah Khan. So those students who have those students who have interest in music, they might have heard about the Bismillah Khan, a very renowned figure of the country, and he got you can say Bharat Ratna Award. Bharat Ratna Award. And what is a Sahnai, and how did he become such a master of Sahnai? We are going to read about it. And generally, you have enjoyed the sound of this music Sahnai. It is said that it is a very pious, auspicious sound. And generally, whenever you get a chance to go in a wedding party, you might have heard this type of a music. But now the scenario change, system change, the people never like to hear Sahnai. They don't want to listen the classical music or any classical instrument, because the people are mad or crazy to listen the current song, you can say, latest song, you can say, latest dance. They prefer to listen, enjoy the latest dance. So now Sahnai became a lost music in the present situation. If we talk about the present situation, you will find that Sahnai is only the name which we are going to talk here. Some of you might have seen Sahnai. Most of you had not aware about this word or even the music of Sahnai. But Sahnai is a very good instrument. How did Sahnai develop? And who was the developer? Who was the person who made the Sahnai? And who has given the or given the proper place, proper importance, proper dignity of this music? The credit completely goes to Bismillah Khan. Though it was a family music, but they all have been playing Sahnai, but they did not try to find a new way or a new technique, or they did not make any research in playing of this Sahnai. So Sahnai became very, very important. Sahnai became very, very important for a Sahnai, and so Sahnai was, you can say, the rhythm, the tone, and notes of the Sahnai are developed quite different from the ancient way of playing by Bismillah Khan. And Bismillah Khan, though, was from a Muslim family, but in Banaras, he used to play in the temple because temple never distinguishes that the God never distinguishes the who is the music player, either the Muslim or the Hindu or Sikh or Isai. So we are going to read about the new development, new research, research on the Sahnai, on this musical instrument, and how did Bismillah Khan bring up to a height by his way of playing the music. We are going to read about all these things in this chapter. So, Bharat Ratna awardee Bismillah Khan, you may be called him Sahnai Maestro. And how did he give recognition throughout the world? He went different countries, but Bismillah Khan did not like to stay in different parts of the world. He wanted to return as soon as the program is over, because he loves his country very much. Whatever the people of the other country provided him, that's not a matter. It's a matter is that he has given the recognition of that music in the world, but he wanted to perform there and return immediately to his country. It shows that how did he love his country. Now, we are going to read this chapter. Emperor Aurangzeb, the last Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, which I know I have been telling you, that Emperor Aurangzeb banned the playing of a musical instrument called pungi. Pungi is one musical instrument that was completely banned by Aurangzeb. You know, it will be not displayed. So it will be not played. In the royal residence, for reason was that it had a shrill, unpleasant sound. So Aurangzeb banned pungi, a musical instrument pungi, and he banned it because it has a shrill, unpleasant sound. It has a shrill, unpleasant sound. So Aurangzeb banned to play musical instrument pungi. Now, and it was the order of the emperor. How did the people dare to play this music? So pungi became a generic name for reeded noise makers, because it is announced, became the generic name for reeded reed is there, reeded is word, reed. When you play the harmonious scene, that is called the reed. When you push one reed, then there is a different type of song came out. That the way of the thing is called the reed. So reeded noise makers. And now it is a band, so who will play? Nobody can imagine that one day it will become a special instrument of the world. So few had thought that it would one day be revived, that one day this pungi will be revived. Revive means it will get the another life, another strength. Nobody has thought about it because they have no any idea that the sound, the shrill sound which is coming out through the musical instrument of pungi would be made melodious, would be changed little bit to make a melodious sound. Nobody has thought over it. But there was a person who wanted to modified this pungi, and when it is displayed before the people or before the people, it has a marvelous impact upon the mind of the people. So we are going to read here. A barber of a family of a professional musician. A barber of a family of professional musicians. We are talking about the time when there was no saloons, and the people generally call the barber at their home for different type of hair cutting and for shaving. And they have their family barber. So like that, there was a barber of a family of a musician. He was a barber of a family of musician who had accessed the royal place. So this person had a access to the royal palace. He might be a good musician, and his approach may be to the royal palace. So we are going to read about a professional musician who has a approach or who has some relation, good relationship with the emperor of that time. And there was a family barber who used to cut their hair and made his saving, their savings. We are going to talk. Decided to improve, and this barber decided to improve the pungi. Tonal quality of the pungi. For that, what did he do? He chose a pipe with a natural hollow stem. He chose a natural pipe with this natural hollow. Quality of the choose a pipe with a natural hollow stem that was longer and broader than the pungi. Means pungi might be a smaller, narrow, and for that he used a longer and broader pipe and made 7 holes on the body of the pipe. I think you have already seen the flute. It has a 7 holes, and the tone of the song is there. You know that there is 7 tune, Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni, sa. 7 notes. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. Sa to already there. So there is 7 holes are there. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa, dha, ni. Sa is there already. So 7 holes are there. Made 7 holes on that longer pipe and wider pipe, which was longer and wider than the traditional pungi, and made 7 holes. When he played on it, when he started playing it, closing and opening some of these holes, when you want to play the flute, you what will you do? You will keep all the fingers closed over the different holes, and you will, if you want to take out the different song or any particular song, then you will open that hole which is marked on the flute. So same way it is made like that. So when he played on it, what was the impact of that song? When he played on it, closing and opening some of these holes, soft and melodious sound were there. The sound was soft and melodious. So where is the sound was soft, it was not harsh, and melodious song, pleasant song was there. It is very audible, it is very soothing, it is very quiet and calm. Sounds were produced. He played the instrument before royalty, and this is played before the royalty. You can see here the difference. The picture was already given here. Pungi and Sahnai. Pungi, you will get a snap catcher. You can say a snake catcher or snake charmer. You can say snake charmer usually almost same style of the that is called the bina. You that's a pungi is there, which is similar to that design, but Sahnai is quite different here. The instrument so different from the pungi had to be given a new name. So because you can see here the design of pungi and Sahnai uh, completely different, design is different, style is different. So they decided to, different from the pungi, had to be given a new name. As the story goes, since it was first played in the Sahaj chambers, Sah, after Aurangzeb, that may be the Sah, someone with their Sah chambers, and was played by a Nai, the instrument was named the Sahnai because it was first played in the Sah chamber, and second it is played by Nai. So Sah plus Nai, it became Sahnai. When you add Sah plus Nai, it became Sahnai. And in this way, the name is given to this instrument, Sahnai. So Sa chamber and Nai becomes Nai, Sahnai. The sound of this Sahnai began to the considered auspicious. And another special thing about that the sound of Sahnai is considered that it is auspicious, it is good for the place. So it was another quality, another thing is added to Sahnai. So it is welcomed by the people of that time. That is very remarkable thing about Sahnai. The sound of the Sahnai began to be considered auspicious, and for this reason, it is still played in temples. And this is the main reason that it is displayed in temples. So it gets the sound of the Sahnai got a special priority, a special privilege, a special honor, and so Sahnai is allowed to play in the temple, and even it is an indispensable component of any North Indian wedding. In North India, if there is a wedding, you cannot think about a wedding without the sound of Sahnai. Sahnai became very, very important, and it is considered as an auspicious instrument, an auspicious musical instrument. So, in North India, it is developed that if there is a marriage, the sound of musical instruments Sahnai must be there. Not in wedding. In the past, the Sahnai was part of the Nobat or traditional ensemble of 9 instruments found at royal courts. Nayawat. So what happened? This instrument is added to 9 instruments for the 9th instrument found at royal courts. Till recently, it was used only in temple and weddings. The credit for bringing this instrument onto the classical stage goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Now we are going to read here. Undoubtedly, it was an auspicious musical instrument, and it became indispensable part of the wedding in North India. But it was being played. The sound was soft and melodious, but it has not given the recognition or importance in playing the classical music. Classical music in the sense that, as it is said, that whenever you listen the song of the classical music, because this music completely goes on the rhythm and the style of singing the same way, the same line in a different style with a different notes in a different way. So this Sahnai is brought up to the classical stage by the credit completely goes to Bismillah. Credit completely goes to Bismillah Khan. So listen here. Now your question arises, a question will arise that who was Bismillah Khan? Who was Ustad Bismillah Khan? How did he learn it? How did he come in contact with it? How did he develop it on the classical stage? We are going to read. As we have read already that how did a barber of a royal of a musician family developed and changed the design and the tone of Pungi into Sahanai, and how did the Sahanai got the respect being the part of the ninth instrument of a royal palace. This was the development of Pungi into Sahanai and recognition. And it became the part of displaying it everywhere in the wedding ceremony. But you may surprise to know that it has it has given the right place So the goes to star Bismillah Khan. Now we are going to read the who is Bismillah Khan. As a 5-year-old, as a 5-year-old, 5-year-old student means a student of one LKG, sorry, UKG student. As a 5-year-old, Bismillah Khan played Gilli Danda. It is a very common play in Bihar. That's called the Gilli Danda. आज भी लोग खेलते हैं, उससे भी लोग खेलते थे. Gilli Danda. Near a pond in the ancient state of Dumrao. Dumrao in Bihar. In Bihar. Dumrao state is a very famous state. Dumrao kingdom, if you can say. And they were, that the small boy was playing Gilli Danda near the pond. He would regularly go to the nearby Bihariji temple to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita. Chaita is very common now in this. Is a chat is already month is going off Chat month, and you know very well that in village people used to sing Chaita. They like to enjoy Chaita. They all sing together. This is a way to relax themselves because the complete cultivation is completed, and it's a time to enjoyment, it's time to relax, and after it's a summer season, so the people like to sing Chaita. Chaita is bada common. Chaita was very common. So he used to sing the Bhojpuri Chaita, at the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg. So he was a small boy and he used to sing Chaita with the other people in the temple, and he was given a big laddu of 1.25 kg. It was sumptuous, sufficient for him. Laddu weighing 1.25 kg, a prize given by the local Maharaja. At the end of which he would earn a big laddu weighing 1.25 kg as a prize given by the local Maharaj. This happened 80 years ago. It's the story of 80 years ago, Dumrao kingdom. And the little boy has traveled far to earn the highest civilian award in India, the Bharat Ratna. You know very well the Bharat Ratna award. He became the recipient of Bharat Ratna award when he was 80 years old. He was alive that time. Now he passed away. But that time he was alive and he was given this award. So a boy who was playing Gilli Danda become the maestro of Sahnai. Nobody can imagine about the fate of that man. Nobody can think even that one day he will become so and so. So, how did he journeyed from his childhood to singing in Bihari's temple, and at the end he was getting prize from the Maharaja. And how did he travel from that place in Bihar, Dumrao state, and reach to the president house in 80 years? to receive the highest civilian award of our country, that is Bharat Ratna Award. So we are going to read about it. We are reading it. It's a very, very important for us. The journey, who helped him? Did he learn Sahnai there? He was not playing any musical instrument. He used to sing Chaita. He was a singer that time, you can say. And how did this singing change his profession to become a music player? We are going to read in this story. Now, we are going to read here about his life, where he was, where was he born, who were the parents, how did he learn, how did he learn music. We will read next time. So thank you, my dear students. Thank you to all.